Everyone, this is Eddie from Poorboys Little Homestead. I'm sitting inside my 1962 Model Avion Camper. In today's video, we're going to be going over the refurbishing and some of the modifications I made to this trailer. So let's get into it. This is a 1962 Avion Camper. I refurbished it. Actually, I've refurbished this trailer twice. I refurbished it once about 20 years ago. And then in the end of 2019, I refurbished it again. Now, back when Dad bought this trailer, it was in the early 80s when he bought it used. And he added the windows. He had a window builder. These trailers come with the old rollout style windows, and when we get in the inside, I'll show y'all a closer view, because I put 10-inch screens on it last time I refurbished it. But he had a window maker to make windows that raise up and down like new style house windows, and had them installed. The electric jack there on the front, I put it on there about 10 years ago, the little hand crank jack. The gear broke in it, so I put a battery operated jack on it. But this trailer has never leaked, which now I've always took care of it. But when I wanted to refurbish it the first time, I didn't have internet to do all the research and stuff, and I started trying. This trailer's come with a clear coat on them. And when I started trying to remove that clear coat to make that aluminum shine, everything I done, it just went haywire. So I ended up trying to sand it off, and that's where a lot of them, you see up close, you'll see them buff marks in it. Right. But so I give up and I just painted the trailer. For this 2019, when I refurbished it, I sanded it back down, primed it, painted it with some Rust-Oleum aluminum paint. Now that dent right there, there used to be it come with an antenna pole. It had a little crank that you could turn your antenna from your inside. I went to the camp one day and was pulling in, and my antenna hung a electrical wire someone had run across to the skinning rack, and it bent my antenna and hit the trailer there and bit it in. I was a little agitated with myself, but at the same time, I'm glad it hung the antenna, didn't hang the air conditioner on the top. But you can see, it's a pretty good looking trailer. Now, I've done a little work down here on the tongue. That was a C-channel on these old tongues, and the bottom of that C-channel done rusting through over all them years, and I just didn't want it to get weak on me, so I went on and put a piece of thicker iron all the way back to where it meets the frame and welded that under there. Put a little deadbolt. I added the deadbolt. Y'all can see the dent in the door. Back when these trailers was made, they had the door opens. If you pull them down the road, it opens into the wind, which wasn't very smart. One day we was going camping and the door come open, and that wind whopped it back around that wall and it warped the door, and that's about as best as I could get it straightened back up. So I put a deadbolt. You see, I added a deadbolt in there, a house style deadbolt. So I never had to worry about my door coming back open anymore. But I have pulled this camper. Back in the early 80s, I lived in this camper in Tennessee about 2 years up there, hadn't to work. Then I went to South Louisiana, stayed in it close to 2 years. And then they've used it. No telling how many trips I've pulled it up to where we hunt like 2.5 hours hunting. Y'all gonna get the little tree limbs in the view here. I just have a cord run up there plugged into my pole cord. As I go in the inside, I'll explain a little more what I did when I refurbished this trailer. I removed all the plumbing. It had a couch up front. It had a little old storage tank, aluminum water tank that held your water, but it didn't hold 12 gallons of water. So I removed all that so I could have more room in there, and I replumbed the whole thing. And now it's just hooked right back here on the back. That's where you can just hook your water hose to have water. And that plug you see right here on the side, that's because I removed back when the gas water heater went out. I just purchased a little electric water heater. These RV water heaters, gas/electric, are very expensive. But where I always hunted and camped, we had electricity, so I just put electric one in this one. So let's go in the inside and show y'all a little what the inside looks like after I refurbished it. Okay, as you're coming in, as y'all can see, I put indoor-outdoor carpet in it when I refurbished it. And right here was one of them old style furnaces. Stuck out about the same distance as this heater here. Well, I removed that old style furnace. I done this back on the first time I refurbished it, put this heater in here, because this little 2-burner infrared heater is thermostat controlled. And it ain't burning the open flame like that old style heater, and I just felt safer. Plus it's temperature controlled, it would kick on and off. But as you can see, when you come in, try to back up. Across the front there was a couch. And that couch pulled out and made a little bed. It wasn't as big as a full bed when it pulled out. But up under there was a little bit of storage. And it had your water tank. Like I said, it held 12, 15 gallons at the tops. So when I refurbished it this last time, I removed all that, because I wanted that room. When we go camping or something, I just set another chair in here. When I go camping, I like peace and quiet, so I don't need no little shelf back there with no TV sitting on it like it used to have. That's why I just removed the antenna off the outside after it got bent and broke. It had an old clock. Well, I'm saying old. Y'all know this 62 model, but that clock was still there, but it wouldn't work. But I couldn't find nothing that exact hole size. So I had to, back here, take a little piece of wood, and I just done it like a basically door over that hole. Bought me an up-to-date clock there. Changed out the fixture. And this light here, you got 3 switches. I ain't got my battery. Battery ain't hooked up to it yet. But when you got a battery in the battery box up there, one switch will turn I rewired that light and made it like the old one was, for one switch. When you flipped it would turn on your 12-volt light, and the other switch turns on your 120-volt light. But I had to make that. I bought that light fixture and had to make it. rewire and put another lamp holder inside it to do that. The light fixtures on the wall here, them are the original ones. I just sanded them and painted them. This trailer is old as it is. None of the cabinets was coming apart, except for 2 of the cabinet doors, which I don't think they was up here, they was in the back. They was the plywood was turning loose. But as far as the hinges, you can see back in the day when they built these, they used piano hinges. It's a solid hinge all the way across. They built something back then, things were built right. Them still the original latches. I just sanded them, took them off, sanded them, put them back on. They made where they got a magnet that holds your door open. This light's the original light that's under here. One end's 120 volt. Other end would be 12 volt. Like I said, I ain't got my battery in it. I don't leave the battery in it, 'cause I use my battery in my boat. Keep having a battery sitting out here running. That's the original vent hood. Being in the back, I just took them down, sanded them, painted them. Now the stove, that was replaced about, Dad replaced that, so it had to be about 30 years ago that stove right there was replaced. But when I refurbished it, I took it out. All that black you see, other than the door now. Well, no, take that back. Everything black. I had to sand it down and repaint everything that's black on it. The only thing I didn't have to paint was the stainless steel. But the cabinet top, it has some old 1962 model Formica in it. And the first time I refurbished it, I painted it with some of that Formica paint that you can paint your Formica with. But the second time I did it, I just took the top totally off because I wanted to put a new sink in there. I wanted the sink that was in here had 2 holes in it, but they was little bitty, small on each side, and I wanted one bigger. And plus the cabinet stopped right here, and I added, when I put the new top on, added it to where it sticks on out back there where you got more room to set your coffee pot, whatever you want to have. But I stripped all the plumbing out here, had old copper plumbing. I stripped it, every bit of it out, and replumbed it with PEX piping. Two-tone my cabinets. The Formica, like I said, when I put the new top on there, I bought the Formica and put new Formica. I put backsplash all the way up with the same Formica on it, like you do in a house. The old curtain rods, the same old curtain rods come in this trailer. I just sanded them. They was old brass colored or something. Sanded them down, painted them. The plugs, covers, them's originals. I just sanded them, painted them. Now the ice box, my dad had replaced that with a RV style ice box that runs off gas or electric. Like I said, that was about 30 years ago or more. No, it had to be about 35 years ago. But anyway, after he passed away and I had the trailer for several years, the ice box went out again. And as y'all know, especially you RVers out there, them RV ice boxes is on up there in the price. And everywhere I camp, I have electricity. If I don't, I have a generator. So. But I just went and bought me the electric ice box there and put in that hole. And then I had enough room there to frame in around it, put a little microwave in it. You got storage above it. And on each side, that's a closet about 16 inches long. Both sides are the same. And it's got twin beds. Storage over the top. I put me some good memory foam mattresses in here. Actually, I done that the first time, and then last year when I refurbished it, I put some new ones in there. But going into the bathroom back there, it had a wood door. But when you camping and staying in here in the wintertime, if you didn't keep that door open, it'd get freezing. Well, when we camping and the temperatures were below freezing, our water would freeze back there. So we always had to leave the door open anyway. Well, when it was open, it's kind of in the way. So since a couple of these cabinet doors was messing up and the ply was turning loose, I took that bathroom door and I cut it, and I made replacement doors for the ones that needed to be replaced. And then I just hung a curtain up there. Put me some new curtains. But up under the bed, that's where your storage is and your water heater. Like I was telling y'all outside, I wired the water heater, changed it out to electric water heater. And your breaker box is inside this closet. The closet's full, right, to show y'all. I changed the breaker box out, added an extra breaker so I could put the electric hot water heater in there. And since I ain't got no storage tank no more, if I did go camping somewhere where there's no water, I got the little electric pump that goes just like the ones in URVs. And I have it fixed up to where I could take water in 5 gallons in them 5-gallon water jugs that you buy for water. And that pumper set right on top of that 5-gallon jug, and I plug it to my 12-volt battery. And then it'll just suck the water out of the jug when I turn my faucet on. So I covered that. And what y'all see on the wall here, just a piece of foam stuck there. But first time I refurbished this, I took some foam mat and fastened on that wall right there. Cause when it's cold, freezing, this trailer's made of aluminum inside and out. I mean, all the top, all the walls, it's all aluminum. Everything except the cabinets. All of this is aluminum. So it sweats. And you'd wake up in the morning and your covers would be froze to the side of that wall. So I put that foam mat by them beds, and it helped with the sweating. And still, when it's real cold and you camping, keeping the heater on a lot, a little tip, you take you some towels and roll up that way. When that sweat hit them towels and wouldn't get your bed and your mattress. That's why I had to replace the mattresses so often in here. Used to, we went from October to January, we went camping every weekend. But you come on back here in the restroom, bathroom. Now that right there, that was an escape window. One of them windows where you flip the levers and you could crawl out the hole if you had to. About 8 years ago, I started working off away from home. Well, I wasn't going to pay no motel. So I took my little camper and I went to West Texas. Well, it's so hot out there in West Texas. This RV air conditioner wouldn't keep this cool because there ain't no shade trees out there to park under. So I took that escape window out and I had me a window unit back here. So I could stay cool. So when I redone it, when I come home, I said, well, no more camping and stuff I need. I ain't gonna need that window unit. So I took it back out and I just covered that window and made that backsplash out of some white Formica. I had to redo the top on this cabinet. It was rotted around where the faucet, and I put new faucets in it. That commode was upgraded the first time it was refurbished. And what I have right here, these commodes, people that know about RVing, they have the little foot lever. When you push it, the water comes out. Or like on this one, you pull the handle and the water would come out. Yeah, put some water in there, but it don't really clean your commode. So when I replumb my trailer, I put me all that is a sprayer like goes on your sink in the kitchen. That way you can pull it over here and wash your commode out a little bit there. Cause them RV, I got an RV now. It's a 2013 model, still got the same setup, but it ain't enough water in there to clean your commode. So I rigged this one up a little better. Little bath tub. Yeah, you can't take a bath in it, shower. Now I do have the one thing I didn't do, and I bought the stuff to do it. So what I bought was this tub and tile refinishing kit. And I was going to refinish this sink and this shower so it would be white. And I never got around to it. I had to leave and go back to work. And I ain't got back to this, but one day I may get in here and do that. And I might just leave it this cream color, because this is just a camper for me to hunt in. The AC that come in this trailer it ran and blew cold air up till about 2005, 2006, I think, when I had to replace it. But it was a Coleman brand. And when I got on top of this trailer to take that old air conditioner out, to tell you how much difference and how things was built back then, that Coleman air conditioner was so heavy, I could just barely get it up high enough that I got to the edge of the trailer and I just throwed it off. And when I got this new air conditioner out of the box, I put it on my shoulder, walked up the ladder, and installed it on top. That's how much difference things is made from back then to nowadays. But this trailer here has never leaked. Like I said, now I keep the top. I get up there and I keep the seams and all sealed, not let that turn off. These old rollout vents, I never use them. Matter of fact, when I redone it and sealed around them, I got them where they sealed shut. That way I ain't gotta worry about them ever leaking. The floors up here on the front, and it wasn't from leak, it's cause the trailer sweat so bad. It done got soft at the bottom of every window. These 3 windows on front. So I had to patch my floor just at these windows. Still the original screen. Of course it was, well, the original screen door. I replaced the screen in it. And the windows, I was telling y'all when I was outside, let me remove this window light so y'all can see. My dad had this window maker to build these windows because he had the old style rollout windows. And he had them put these work just like a house window. You just raise them up. Close them. He had already had that done before he passed away. But anyway, just thought y'all might like the little look at what I did, some of the modifications I did, may give you an idea if you're giving your trailer a makeover or a redo. Some ideas that you can do, save you a little money, still get the same job, serve the same purpose. I said a while ago this was the original light fixture. That is the original light fixture, but I took a piece of plexi lens out of another light and heated it with a heat gun and bent it to fit in there. Okay guys, this here's the little modification I was telling y'all a few moments ago. Once I remove my tank inside where I can't hold no water, if you do go camping, or if I decide to go camping somewhere that I don't have water to hook up, I can take 3 or 4 of these 5-gallon water containers with me in the back of my truck, and I took the pump that was on my tank, because I had replaced it in the first makeover of when I fixed the trailers. I took this motor, just a 12-volt motor, just like in any RV you buy nowadays, and I got it fixed to where I just hook it to my faucet, set it on top of my container here, and stick the hose down in there. I just took an old electrical cord, got it wired to it, and I just run that electrical cord, got some alligator clips on it, clip it to my battery that's in the battery box on front of the trailer. The way these motors are made, once it pumps and gets your lines full, the motor kicks off. When you turn your water on, then the motor will kick on and pump your water till you turn your faucet back off. I want to thank you guys for watching this little video, and I hope it was helpful to someone in some way. God bless and have a great day. Thank you.